Hello and welcome back once again to Movie Reviews. So the final movie I'm seeing for today is Lucy. I was going to go see Guardians of the Galaxy after Lucy got out, but the time was too close. Lucy was supposed to end at 4:15, and that was right when Guardians of the Galaxy was supposed to start. The credits didn't actually roll on Lucy until 4:25, and by that point you're already through the 10 minutes of previews at the start of Guardians of the Galaxy, so not seeing that today. Might come back over and see it in the morning because I don't have to work until late in the afternoon, so I could probably get that in and maybe another one, not sure. I know The Giver just came out, so I might see that here tomorrow morning as well. If not, I don't know. And then there's a couple that aren't playing here that are back over at the main theater that I go to that I'll probably see next Tuesday. Yeah, so saw Lucy. It's a movie where a lot of stuff happens and no one notices it. Now, yeah, so we start out with Lucy. She's kind of like this space case, blonde wannabe actress, I guess, and she's somewhere in Korea trying to become an actress, or that's what I can gather because she has a friend that's with her that said she went to an audition. So she's with this guy who she's supposedly been dating for a week, and he's trying to get her to go deliver this case inside this building, and she's like, no, I need to go home, I got to study. So apparently she's a student as well. And she's like, I'll call you in a couple days. He's like, no, you gotta go, you gotta do this for me. I've been doing it all week, I can't keep being seen here or whatever. So he finally cuffs the case to her to where she has to go in. And then there's all these guys, the Korean guys that are the drug traffickers, and she doesn't speak Korean, they don't speak English, so they get this guy on the phone to translate for her. But then, later on, you see this, they had this doctor in the building that spoke English the whole time, so why wasn't he brought in? So basically she delivers this package, and they drug her, and they basically insert the drugs into her stomach, and it's her and 3 other guys. They're supposed to traffic this stuff back to where they live. Then they're going to meet up with agents to withdraw it, and then it'll get sold, and then they'll get like $1,000 or something, and they'll be on their way. If they don't do it or they alert the authorities, then their families will be killed, blah, 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 blah. So she takes her passport and her plane ticket, and they're escorting, they put bags over everyone's head and escort them out. And all the other guys make it to the airport, and they're on their, way to back home. And for some reason, she gets chained up in a room by 4 guys who were the guys that were escorting her. So it's like they just randomly kidnapped her, and I guess because she was a girl and they wanted to have sex with her or something, because for some reason she's the only one that was taken hostage. So she says no to the one guy, and he hits her, knocks her down, starts kicking her in the stomach, and that causes the drugs to rupture and start leaking into her body. And this drug is what starts to increase her intelligence. So then we cut over to Morgan Freeman's character, who is a scientist who's explaining his theories on, humans using different percentages of their brain and everything. Like currently we only use 10% of our brain, supposedly, and if you access more and more of your brain, what you would be able to do. And it's basically what Lucy's going through. So then throughout the movie we see these percentage signs on the screen that are showing what level of her brain capacity she's currently using. Which is weird because when it first starts off it shows 1%, so that's kind of saying that she's a ridiculously dumb blonde. But if she's studying abroad, she has to be a little bit smarter than that, because that would imply that she's at least in some form of college. I don't know. Could be. No, she was older than that. So then she gets away from the guys that are holding her hostage, and she goes to the hospital to get a doctor to take the thing out of her. And nobody notices her walking through the ER with a gun in her hand. I mean, yeah, she's got it down by her leg, but it's a big frickin' handgun. And she walks by a lot of people that look directly at her. No one notices this girl is carrying a handgun. So then they remove it. the doctor doesn't have any questions about anything. Well, he does sort of. He asks her a couple, like, simple questions, but, like, she's not experiencing any pain, you know, and she's talking to her mother on the phone and whatnot during the surgery, and he's not like, how is she not feeling? You know, he doesn't question anything. He just accepts, okay, this is going on. She's talking to her mother on the phone about how she can feel everything, and, like, she remembers all this stuff. She remembers the taste of her mother's milk when she was a baby and all this stuff. And her mother's just kind of like, yeah, honey, we love you too. You know, it's like, hello, you're not even going to ask if she's on drugs or something? Like, hey, honey, are you okay? You sound a little weird. You know, is everything all right? Did somebody give you something? You know, what's going on? Nothing. No. Okay. We love you too, honey. Talk to you later. So then she goes back to the hotel to confront the guy who did this to her. And she walks into the building the first time with the case, and she has to stop at the reception desk. He calls up to the room, lets him know she's coming up. But, like, this time she just walks into the building, goes up to the floor, gets all the way down the hallway. There's no security anywhere, nothing, until she gets up to the door of this guy's private suite, and then all his security is inside in the main living room area. And then, like, she kills all of them, and then, you know, he doesn't hear any of the gunfire or anything because he's in the next room getting a tattoo, and he's got headphones on and a facial and cucumbers over his eyes and whatnot, so he can't hear or see any of this going on. It's like, really? Why is there no security in this dude's, you know, hotel floor if he's this big of a person, you know? And so then she's talking to him, trying to figure out, like, where the other guys went, because she knows she's going to need the drugs. And, like, she just starts this robotic acting, you know, it's like, hello, how are you today? You know, it was, like, really robotic. I know she was doing it intentionally, because they were trying to say that she's losing her humanity, but it's like, really? Because, like, I don't know. It's just weird, you know, they could have, like, had her strip away emotions but not act like a robot. You can strip away emotions and just be like a heartless person without, hi, I am Robbie. You know, that's more or less what she was doing. So then she finds out where the other guys were going, so she goes to get the drugs from them. She's walking through the airport, and on the TV news they're talking about this woman who shot up the hospital and everything, and they're showing her picture from the security cameras. So she just completely alters her appearance. Like, her hair goes from this short, blonde, curly thing to just, like, long, black, straight hair. And there's all these people walking around next to her looking at her when she does this, and no one notices, no one reacts, no one says anything. Why? So then she gets onto the plane, and she literally, at one point, starts to fall apart. Like, her molecules start to separate, and she's, like, becoming this cloud of dust, and she's, like, running through the plane to get to the bathroom, you know, and, like, everyone sees that she's flying apart, but they're not concerned with, hey, are you okay? What's going on? You know, is this a contagion? You know, do we need to be worried about this? They're just like, ma'am, are you okay? You need to return to your seat because we're landing now. Ma'am, hello? Hello? There's shit going on. People notice it. And then, so then, you know, she meets up with this cop. Again, he doesn't ask her any questions. She kind of calls him over the phone and says, there's these guys bringing drugs into these countries, apprehend them, I need the drugs. And he's just like, okay. You know, it's like, ask questions. Who is this lady? You know, why are you taking her information? You know, why are you taking her word for it? Sure, it turns out to be right, but come on. So then she finally meets up with Morgan Freeman's character, and she's explaining to him and his colleagues that he's called together, like, what's going on with her, and, like, how, you know, everything works. And she's like, you know, I need you guys to help me, like, incorporate the rest of these drugs into my system so I can reach 100% of my, you know, brain capacity. And then he's like, all that kind of knowledge, you know, the world might not be ready for it because of how human nature is. And she's like, I'll build a new computer with all my knowledge in it, and I'll make sure only you have access to it, which accumulates into her handing him a flash drive. Apparently that flash drive has all the secrets of the universe. But while they're setting this up for her to, you inject all this crap into her system and become this supercomputer, and basically energy, like at the end of Powder when he just kind of explodes into energy, that's kind of what she does. She just becomes one with everything. So basically she's like God now, I guess. But as they're doing this, these guys are coming to try and kill her and get their drugs back, and the cops are there trying to hold them off, and all these scientists are just sitting in this room like talking to her while all this is going on. And then she starts like traveling through time. It's like the part where she's sitting in Times Square and she's like rolling time back that you see in the preview. Basically she's traveling through time and space, and she rolls back time all the way back to like prehistoric times, and where she meets the first woman, the Neanderthalic woman who scientists have named Lucy. Coincidence, right? And then she sticks her finger out and the ape touches it, and oh wow, it's like that Michelangelo painting where God gives knowledge to man, haha. And then it goes back in time to like the creation of everything, the Big Bang and whatnot. The only thing that I liked about this entire segment, because it made absolutely no fucking sense, because nothing came out of it after that, that was basically the end of the movie. As she's traveling back in time from New York, from Times Square, she goes all the way back to this point where it's just like nothing but open country, and she stops there for a second, and then there's these 4 Indians on horseback, and they're all looking at her and like looking at her like, what is this? They're the only people that noticed anything this bitch ever did in the entire fucking movie. The only people. 4 fucking Indians from like 1400s, I don't know. They're the only people that noticed anything. Everyone else just accepts that all this shit's going on around them. So then she becomes God, energy, this computer, flash drive thing. She's escaped into the ether. And that's the end of the fucking movie. They end up killing the bad guy, and the cop comes in and he's like, where is she? And he gets a text on his phone that says, I am everywhere. And that's it. The end of the fucking movie. Nothing else. Fade to black, credits. Like I said, it's a movie where apparently a lot of shit happens that no one noticed, but at the same time, absolutely nothing happens. At least the story was semi-intriguing to keep me interested up to that point, but it was slowly paced. It wasn't that entertaining, unfortunately. And really with Scarlett Johansson, it's with what she's done recently with the Black Widow character in the Avengers, I was expecting a lot more out of this, and no, it's just her acting robotic and nothing happening, and when something does happen, no one notices it. That's it. So as far as the star rating, 2. I mean, like I said, the story was intriguing enough to make me want to see it. I was very let down by it, so I'm not going to rate it too low. I don't think it deserves to be like a 1, but honestly, it doesn't deserve to be higher than a 2. Yeah, so that's it. Star rating 2 for Lucy. Like I said, I might come back over here tomorrow and see Guardians of the Galaxy finally, because I still want to see that. And if I have time after that, I might see The Giver. If not, I can see The Giver over at the other theater. But in the meantime, tonight at 7:30, the theater back over by my house is doing Riff Tracks Live of Godzilla, so I'm going to go see that now. Don't have any idea what time it is, because I've been rambling forever. It's 5:15, so I'm going to go get some lunch on the way back over there. Probably just stop at McDonald's or something. Then I'm going to go see that, and I may do a review on that afterwards, but it's probably going to be pretty similar to my Riff Tracks Live Sharknado review. So if you want to see it, I'll do it. If not, don't watch it. So anyway, that's it for this episode. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode of Movie Reviews.